All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, the Houston Rockets. We just barely lost to the Portland Trail Blazers, guys. It just ended about a half hour ago. It was a very tough loss. However, there's certainly some upsides. Christian Wood, 31 points. James Harden, 44 points, 17 assists. I mean, we looked good. Obviously, we were shorthanded. I thought Jayshawn Tate looked pretty good. David Nwaba was showing great defensive resistance. However, when we get towards guys like, especially PJ Tucker, man, if you guys have been subbed to me for a while, I've made a lot of videos about PJ Tucker. I'm very, very indifferent about PJ Tucker. If you ask me, Jayshawn Tate is a younger, more athletic PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker tonight, he just didn't really do it for me, even defensively, which he's so known for. I mean, Kevin Durant even said he's one of the hardest guys to score against. PJ, to me, he just truly looks like a 36-year-old man who is just trying to get an extension. I mean, to me, there's absolutely no reason to extend him. Daniel House as well, I would say he's the only really negative part about this game. I mean, he didn't really have a horrible game, but he certainly didn't have a good game. Personally, I mean, a lot of Rockets fans are already calling for Daniel House, Eric Gordon, and even a first-round pick to trade for Buddy Hield. We'll see, man. We'll see what the Rockets do. Obviously, we were extremely short-handed tonight, so I don't think it's worth it to really overreact. In fact, I think for the players we were given, I mean, even Bruno only played 4 points tonight. With the rotations that were going on, I would say, I mean, you guys got to remember this Portland Trailblazers team, they're a playoff team, right? They beat the Los Angeles Lakers game 1 just like us. They're not a bad team by any means. And so considering this was pretty much, I mean, it was a one-possession lost on the road, I see no reason to be disappointed for any reason in this game other than the fact that it was just a very close loss. I mean, you could evaluate the last-second play call, but James Harden, I think we all agree, he probably should have shot a three. He should have had a floater. There was no reason to really pass it. I mean, considering who's on the court, James Harden needs to take that last shot, 100%. We don't know the play call. It looks like the play call was, James Harden drives. I don't really know. If you ask me, he's the best guy on the court, clearly, for our team. He needs to be taking a three-point shot, or if he's going to drive, I mean, don't pass it. Either take a floater or go up and try and get contact. Just literally anything but pass. I don't really understand the pass. I don't know if that's on James Harden. I don't know if that's on the coach. Obviously, like, the play call could have been one thing, but James Harden intuitively should have known whether to shoot that shot or not. So if you ask me, this loss is only good for the Houston Rockets because, I mean, as much as James Harden balled out, in that last possession, he really had the chance to either win or lose the game. And just based off the last possession turnover, you could make the assessment that James Harden lost us the game. Obviously, other factors went into it, but on the final possession, James Harden turned it over. That's only going to motivate James Harden, if you ask me. I mean, there's no way, in my opinion, there's just no way James Harden looks back at this game and is like, yeah, I did everything I can while he had an incredible game and he gave it his all. I mean, the last second turnover, what a player like a all-star, superstar type player, one of the best to ever do it, they just get back in the gym. They don't sit and pout. James Harden, I highly doubt tomorrow adds another team to his trade destinations. I mean, the fact that we were contending with such a talented team, especially considering all the talent that's in the West, there is no way you can tell me that this game is on a down note. There is just no way. Christian Wood went absolutely off, and he didn't even have his shot tonight. He only took two threes. You could just tell he knew his shot wasn't there, and yet he still had a very efficient night and dropped 31 points. He had a very important defensive stop towards the end of the game, and I thought defensively he held his own. Obviously, the first couple of possessions, giving up easy points to Nurkic weren't great, but adjustments were made, and honestly, he did quite a fine job. I think that our defense could use improvement. However, CJ McCollum really, if you look at it, had the game of his career. I mean, he had just an incredible, 44 points. He had the most threes in a game for himself. Like, he broke his own record. Damian Lillard, while he was inefficient in the fourth quarter and overtime, he came up when needed. I just think that this is a moral victory for the Houston Rockets if we're looking for the longevity of James Harden staying. He looked fully invested. He was talking to all of his teammates. He had emotions. The only thing we didn't get was a win, but you got to think about the positive side where, hey, I think he's going to be a little bit more motivated, especially considering, I mean, we're 0-1, probably going to be shorthanded for a game against the Nuggets. James Harden next game, there's no reason this kid doesn't go off, man. So I'll do a more detailed recap tomorrow, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a live reaction. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later.